I know you probably don't pay attention to the stuff, but Vegas is maybe, I think, a 28-point something favorite, and you got an SEC opener next week. This is an FCS team. And you worried all about guys looking at Ole Miss?
No, not at all. Not with the season we came off of last year. You don't look ahead for anybody. This is about how we play. It's not who we play, it's how we play. And that's, as I shared with them today in our team meeting, I'm far more concerned about their preparation and how they continue to prepare each and every day, regardless who we play, than the magnitude of the game on Saturday. It's about preparation today, and that's been our focus. And no, our guys have had great preparation to this point, and I anticipate nothing but that today.
Hey, Coach, Luke Jones has been waiting to hear about his eligibility. Have you heard anything new on that?
I haven't heard anything new on that right now. Right now he's ineligible.
Update on CJ O'Grady and trading it. You anticipate them being at practice today, and then what's their status to Saturday?
Yeah, CJ was out of actually practice yesterday in green, so he'll be back green again today. He'll be ready to go for Saturday. Trey is not in today. Won't practice today. We keep being told it's coming. So we anticipate him being back out tomorrow. So he'll be around today.
Could he play if he's just tomorrow?
Oh yeah, tomorrow and Friday.
So what was practice like yesterday? A good grind that allowed you to go in shorts today?
Well, it's been a long camp. It's been a long camp, and these guys are they're ready to go. And we've had plenty of live days and full padded days, and so again, this is just an opportunity for these guys to. When you go out, and you can go out in some shells, which the only thing that's different is you just don't have knee pads on right now. They got their thigh pads on, but it's a mental thing too.
If Trey's able to go tomorrow, how much do you anticipate him actually being able to play?
Well, I think Trey will play if he's able to go tomorrow and go through what we call our Focus Fast Friday. He'll. I don't know the exact number of reps he'll get, but I anticipate him being out there.
Eric Gregory was in green yesterday. You've seen him progressing pretty well.
I have. Really pleased with Eric right now. Where he is, it's along the same. I think he's well on ahead of schedule. So don't know if we'll see him or not Saturday, but he's definitely going to be in the mix before it's over.
Do you feel like the offensive identity will show itself in that first game?
I don't know. I think more than anything, I just want to see us play fast, play physical, and play to our standard. And I think there's a lot of things we've been working on. We got to be able to run the football. We know that. We got to also be able to win first and second down. That's my big emphasis to these guys.
Has Ben had a good week so far since the announcement?
Yeah, he had a good day on Sunday, as they all do, flying around, and yesterday was a good day. Again, I think everybody at this point is just all across the country. People are focused in, ready to go. They're tired of hitting on each other. The redundancy of camp is wearing off, and so they're just ready for a game.
You expect Hudson Henry to get time, or what's your take with him?
Well, we got him a part of the plan, and he's coming along just fine. We're excited about Hudson, so we'll see. A lot is going to depend on where CJ is, how many reps CJ will get, and but we anticipate him being and getting some reps in this Saturday.
You got your 5 guys on the offensive line healthy this week. How do you feel they're coming together?
Well, I'm excited about these guys. I think, as I've mentioned before, with Myron giving us an opportunity moving inside. And Colton being healthy, we've got some interesting dynamics there that I'm excited about. We're athletic, which is a good thing. We got some depth, which is another great thing. And Ricky Stromberg is going to have an opportunity to play Saturday. So
welcome in. It's our Wednesday edition. No, Thursday. Demetrius, Thursday. Man, I mean, I had a brain lapse there for a second, but we want to wish everybody a great Thursday and also to welcome you in to On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio, coming to you here on KDSJ 479. And we let hear audio from yesterday's media availability with head coach Chad Morris talking about CJ O'Grady, talked about Trey Knox, two guys that I think will, from all intents and purposes, Demetrius, moved pretty good. Trey didn't do a lot of running, but Trey was out with the wide receivers. I'm telling you, Mitch, I got a new nickname for those guys. You know what that is? I got a new nickname. I'm calling them the law firm. That's what I'm calling them, with Attorney Burks, Attorney Woods, Attorney Knox, Jackson, Morris. And so we're gonna call that group's gonna be the law firm. But very excited to have you guys on here today. We're not going to have any guests. I mean, today is your day. I mean, we start the A tomorrow, and I know you guys have a lot of questions about what you think is going to go on Saturday. My question to all listeners and viewers, what is your expectation for Saturday's ball game? Arkansas comes in, I believe, a 28-point favorite. Is that too much? Not enough? Where are you with that? We want your thoughts. You can give us a call here at 479-601-7400. We'll get you in here to OTH. But I had a conversation coming in, and the reason why I came up with that is my producer said that he wants a 40-piece. And I'm going to bring him in real quick and kind of have him elaborate on why 28 points. The 28-point spread is not enough for this Saturday's home opener.
I just think for the Arkansas Razorbacks to really start off strong, they have to come out with the right mindset. Coming off a 2-10 season, you really have to have blood in your eyes. Right. You have to come out understanding that this is a respect thing now. We're trying to rebrand and rebuild a program from the bottom up, and we have to come out here setting a tone. And I hate that it's Portland State, but it has to be Portland State, and they need to put a 40-piece up there to let everybody know and make a splash on the first week of college football that the Arkansas Razorbacks are here to play.
I think that's a good point. I really do. I think 28, my score, I'm not going to predict yet. I mean, you're not going to get that out of me yet. That's for tomorrow's edition. But I think the improvements that you want to see is offensive line. I think if they do reach 28 points, which I'm expecting it, Demetrius, but if it's under the 28-point spread, I'm not going to be too overly concerned. I think Arkansas more or less is going to go in and try to play a very vanilla football game defensively. Don't want to give a lot away because we have to understand, the following week they go take on Ole Miss. You don't want to tip your hands to anything in the SEC opener.
But Pat, you being vanilla and doing basic things still doesn't determine the physicality and the mindset that you have. Absolutely. They can go in there letting them know that I'm running up the A gap and you still can't stop me. Like, that's the mindset the Razorbacks have to have this year, because okay, there was once upon a time people could come in and play an SEC team and say, man, we playing against the SEC teams. It's already over. We lost. And that came with Big 12 teams, that came with ACC teams, but it's almost like everybody's losing that it factor from being from the SEC. Nobody's looking at SEC as that big giant anymore. After Alabama got dethroned,
But I think that comes with parity. I think you have so many great assistant coaches, like Kirby Smart goes and takes the program at Georgia. Jeremy Pruitt has taken over the program there at Tennessee. I just think that there's a lot of different head coaches that were great assistant coaches, but also had that tag of being great recruiters, and they've attracted great recruiters. So I think all the kids are starting to balance out in the SEC. You've heard me say this on our show, and listeners and viewers have heard me say this for quite the time, that parity is about to enter into the SEC. It's about to be very, very heavy in the SEC, and I think people look at that as a bad thing, but I'm thinking Arkansas is still yet not of the maturity level. I mean, there's 52 underclassmen on this team now. You ask me this next year or the year after, you want a 40-piece, but right now you want to continue to see the program and the culture growing and continue to see improvements on the offensive line. I mean, a lot of these kids have never played collegiate football starting in front of I don't anticipate it to be a sellout. I mean, by no means, but I think what you want to see, if they don't get it, and I anticipate they should get over the 28 points. I'm still not going to give you my prediction, but I just think what you want to look at is, have they grown from November, I believe, 28th, 29th in that Missouri game to, August 31st? Have they grown as a football team in all areas? I mean, Arkansas had some major flaws that they had to get corrected when Chad and his staff came. So I think that's what fans need to realize. Go in and don't worry about the 28 points. Worry about where were they at when you saw them last, and what do they look like in real time. Chad wants to say be where your feet are, and I think that's what you look for. I don't think 28 points for a team that was 2-10. Portland State, it doesn't matter. It shows you Colorado State wasn't a great team. I think that to me is too
much. Pat, if you would have said in conference 28 points and this is a freshman team, I would have taken that. But this is not a caliber. You got to understand, every team at the Portland State is going to be better than Portland State.
Right.
This is probably the one of the easiest games on their schedule. Again, they have to. It's imperative that they come out and make a big statement, bro. They have to, because again, nobody's intimidated by the Razorbacks right now. So that automatically means they're gonna have to come out their A game and playing a full game from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. They have to play balls out.
You're right. I think it's gonna be this way the whole year. I think nobody's gonna fear Arkansas. I mean, this is a program. They've only won 13 conference games going back to 2012. So I think this is a program that not only is going to have to prove itself this year, but next year. I think not only you have to prove yourself to the fans of Arkansas. I mean, I see on social media people are giving away tickets and selling tickets, and I can remember in the days when they're really highly ranked and the expectation level and the culture is of a winning culture. You don't give away those tickets. So I get your point. I agree with it, but I think in this program, you have to reinvent the culture and reinvent the expectation that even though it's Portland State, you're supposed to win by 28 plus. I think that's where Arkansas is. I mean, they've had
supposed to win by 40, bro. 40.
I think, like I said, as the years go on, I mean, this is not a culture that, and unfortunately, you can't say.
But that's the thing. You keep saying years go on. You have to understand. Chad has, okay, what's the best way to put it? He's going to win. He's going to win this game. But this is a game that everybody expects him to win. So it has to be, you have to do something better than the expectation set. You can't just go in and win Portland State, because you got to think we got blew out by Eastern Illinois or East Texas. That was North Texas. We got blew out. You got to think we have to make up for that. There's no excuse not to put 40 points on this Portland State team.
I think with the players that they have, better players, I think they should and probably will win by 40. But I don't think it should be the expectation level, because still you have Traylon Burks. He's a great player.
Why is that?
Traylon's got to prove himself. I think you don't have enough proven playmakers to go out and expect to win by 40. You have them on the roster, but I don't think they're proven.
I agree.
I think Cheyenne O'Grady is a proven player, but outside of Cheyenne O'Grady, this is a new receiving corps. I think you want to walk out on the field and see these guys show you we have the talent. That now when we play, like you said, Portland State or San Jose State for that matter. Now, if you ask me in a couple weeks, you beat San Jose State by 40, because now Traylon and Trey and TQ and Morris and those guys, Mike Woods, they've had a chance to get those 2-3 games in their belt, and now they're proven playmakers. Now you say, this is San Jose State, Arkansas should be 3-0. They better go out and beat
But Pat, I would have said that if we didn't have an SEC game the next week.
Yeah.
Like if we didn't have an SEC game next week, I would have given them 2 weeks to get ready. But when you got a SEC, and this is one of the SEC games that we have the potential, if you look at the schedule and say, okay, where is Arkansas going to get these wins from? That's one of the circles that's one of the games they have circled.
I think Ole Miss is a colossal football game. I think in Arkansas's history, when they start off good in conference play, can get that first one under their belt, they just seem to pick up momentum, and not only in the SEC but in their days in the Southwestern Conference. I think it's very important, and I think not only for Arkansas but for any program, when the second game of the year or the first game of the year is a conference game, you are expected to have a quicker acceleration, but not at the expense that you give things away. And I think that's what this game is going to be about. When I say vanilla, I think you'll see more down chunk plays offensively. I think Chad's going to I think they're going to really come out and try to make a statement. But I think on the defensive side of football, I don't think we'll see all of Coach Chavis's defensive game plan.
But and then my other point of why I think they have to at least put 40 points. Okay, if you're gonna lose games, the only thing that's gonna bring people out is your offense.
Right.
And you have to understand, Chad is a offense. I have air quotations. Offensive guru. That's why we brought him to Arkansas, correct? Right. We brought him here. That's what I'm saying, Pat. They have to put up a 40 piece to come out making a statement. I agree that they may not have all the continuity amongst each other to really do that. This is their first game. Like you said, it's 11 new starters. But I feel like the position they are in as a culture, because they don't have too many cupcake games.
You're gonna have to check that because Colton Jackson will be starting on Saturday, so there won't actually be 11.
Okay, team.
But that's not. I mean, that was just put out there. But I mean, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I think it's not. I don't think they'll win by 4. I think they will cover the spread. I do think they'll do that. I think that 28 points is reasonable. I mean, like I said, it is Portland State. You are an SEC, and in particular, SEC Western school. So I think you should go out and beat a team by 28 points. I think what you really got to worry about is the next week. Make sure the biggest thing you do is get out of this game very healthy.
That's true. Good point. Good point.
Of confidence, and you have enough film on the guys that hey, these are going to be the guys we got to count on in the opener. And like I said, make sure the guys get healthy. You got to get to Ole Miss with CJ, Trey Knox, that receiving core, and that that tight end group and the running backs. You got to get there healthy and make sure that Nick Starkel. I think the biggest thing also too, Demetrius, is make sure Nick Starkel and Ben Hicks gets the same amount of reps, because you got to play the best quarterback in that season opener. I mean, that's going to be real big.
I agree. And again, that's what I'm saying. They have to put up points. 28 points is not enough to where you can interchange your backups. We saw that last year where
I think Arkansas puts up about them offense. I think Arkansas puts up about 4. I think 56 will be the max. But I think they will win by 20.
But when I say 40 piece, you look at it like that shouldn't be the standard. If we're talking about championship teams, I'm about to take one of my dad lines, championships. Yeah. And you're looking at potentially knocking off, A&M, LSU. You have to come in with that winning mentality. You have to come in with that I have my foot on your neck mentality, that we're going to put a 40 piece on, because I'm at least expecting 20 from Ben, 20 from Starkel. Is that reasonable?
Yeah, I think they'll score 40. I do think you'll see 40 points on the board for Arkansas. I think that's definitely going to happen.
I feel like that should be a standard.
I think I'll go ahead and do my prediction. I think Arkansas is going to win the game 42-10. And it could get a little bit out of hand. I think I think Chad's going to continue to put his foot on people's necks, but I think, like I said, the main thing is get out healthy in a game that you should win handily, and make sure you get a lot of kids that are just now stepping out on the football field for their first time, be it freshman, redshirt freshman, or sophomore. Make sure they get the proper amount of reps that they can come out of that game confident about what's about to take place the following week. And I think if they can accomplish that, I'm going to be real excited. I think they're going to be a lot of chunk plays. I think they're really going to stretch the field. Number 16, I'm telling you. Number 16, Traylon Burks. I'm telling you. Arkansas Razorbacks did it on this. Chad Morris and staff have to be commended to be able to keep a guy of that type of talent in the state of Arkansas. It's not too many that I've seen, and I've been around a while and covered and watched Arkansas football for quite the amount of years. Hadn't seen the type of talent that Traylon Burks brings to the table. I mean, this kid is coming in already 225 pounds, 6 foot 3.5, 6 foot 4 with 4.4 speed. Unbelievable measurements. I mean, unbelievable.
So we got a comment from Mr. Terry Roy. He says, if Arkansas allows more than 20 points, that won't be a good look for them.
They ain't giving up 20 points. They ain't giving. I'll say it, fans. You heard me say it, listeners. They ain't giving up 20 points. I think,
and I have to agree. I say particularly for the defense line.
I think the biggest thing that's going to jump out is the speed and the aggressiveness and the IQ, football-wise, on the defensive side of the ball, and the way that they're going to come out and play with an edge. And it goes back to that senior leadership group. When has Arkansas in a long time had 6 defensive linemen that are going to be, seniors on that defensive line? You know, when McTelvin in that freshman class with Devois and those guys came in, they didn't have a bunch of senior D linemen that could pave the way. And when you go back in history and you look at all the great SEC teams and how they win, those defensive lines are senior driven and they stop the run and they're very, very disruptive. And I think that's what Arkansas is going to do. I anticipate as the season goes on, offensively, Arkansas is going to play on a lot of short field. And I think they're going to get a lot of takeaways because this is the type of defense I think John Chavis really is excited about. Fast linebackers, cornerbacks that can actually play the bump and run and actually have a lot of closing speed and a disruptive defensive line with defensive ends that have burst off the edges. And I'm really excited about that. But they ain't getting 20.
But I have to say the key to the defense of being great this year is getting off the field. Yeah. The defense has to get off the field, and then the offense has to be potent enough to stay on the field. Right. Or I shouldn't even say stay on the field. Control the field. You know, because it's not always about scoring a bunch of points. You know, if you're scoring a bunch of points, that means your defense getting right back on the field.
Because I'll say it on the record: if Arkansas is held, I expect Devois and Rakeem Boyd to be 1,000-yard running backs. I think both of those kids have the potential. With this year and the buy-in, I think the offensive line is going to continue to get better. And I think with the weapons that Arkansas has on the outside and at the tight end spot, you can't sit there and put 8 in the box. If you do that,
I agree.
You put 8 in the box.
There's going
to be a lot of problems.
And again, Pat, that goes the reason why, again, I keep hollering about this 40 piece I need on Portland State. For the weapons we've been raving about and the Trey Knox, and we've been talking about Heisman campaign, future Heisman. I got to see it right off the bat, bro. I agree. Yeah, they're freshmen, but if they're special talent, if you have talent and you're a football player, your grade level does not matter. I don't care if you're a freshman, senior. If you're a baller, you're gonna come out and ball. It don't take 50 games to come out and balling, and that's my expectation for this group.
I just think with that inexperienced offensive line outside of Ty Clary and Colton Jackson, I think it's going to take a couple games for Wagner. And, I think Myron Cunningham, he's going to be a guy. That kid's going to be an all-SEC player. That kid's got it. And I think, Austin Cass, even though he's a senior, Austin really hadn't had a lot of offensive line time and really a lot of playing time for that matter. So I think that's going to be the big key is how those three guys mature in the confidence level that they show up. If that offensive line, I'm telling you, if they can show up and just protect and do the little things, they're going to be pretty good.
So, Pat, I want you to take a quick second and look down at the schedule real quick. So, you got Portland State, right?
Right.
You got Ole Miss.
Right.
Then you got Colorado State.
I think they're 4-0 heading in.
But again, we circling that Colorado State game like they didn't beat us last year.
I think they're 4-0.
They're going to have the mindset that we beat y'all last year and we can beat y'all again. Now, I'm going to correlate to, again, going back to this Portland State game. They have to come out and do a dominant performance.
I think
they have to have a it can't be an okay performance. It can't be I'm comfortable. No, they have to dominate this game from start to finish.
Well, and like I said, I think the seniors will have that mentality because you're only as good as your seniors. You're only as serious as your seniors. And like I said, I go back to SEC Media Day when I saw Devois, Scooter, and Sosa. That was a different senior group.
I agree.
Practiced that way through fall camp. I mean, it's been really a senior-driven fall camp, and the younger guys are buying in. I mean, there's just a different chemistry. I think fans are going to really realize that they might put their foot on people. I think they may smash.
That's what I'm saying. I need them to.
They have that. I think it's going to be everything that happens this year is going to be because of the mentality that these seniors have put forth. I mean, these seniors are dead set on going to a bowl game. They're dead set on not having to lose a season. I mean, and you can really tell. You can tell the urgency in which they practice.
And I feel like I'm not putting any more pressure on these seniors than what they told me at SEC Media Day. Right. Because you heard out of Sosa Ging's mouth that he kept saying, "Oh, I want to be legendary." That's what you're hearing from all the seniors. "Oh, I want to be legendary. I want to be remembered as one of the greatest Razorbacks. When I'm done, I want my name to be encrusted on the wall and walk through the halls." That's what I've been hearing from all these seniors. Right. And again, that's why my expectations, I feel, aren't too high. I don't care how many freshmen are on here. I'm listening to what these seniors have guaranteed that they're going to put on the line. And again, saying that they're going to talking season is over. It's over. And again, that's why I say I need a dominant performance from the beginning of the snap. When that kickoff is kicked, I need a smashing hit. I need to let everybody know. I need to see
If they
that.
win by 40, I think you will see a dominant performance. It'll be defensively set in stone in the first quarter. I think it will be a 6 to 7 sack day. I think Arkansas will have about 2 to 3 takeaways, and I think it could be a pick six or a scoop and score. I think if it's a dominant performance, it's going to be because the most experienced side of the ball at this particular time is defensively, and I think the speed level, the coverage level, you'll be able to add more exotic blitzes of what I've been told.
I'm looking forward to it.
From sources. It's just in listening to Coach Chavis, he's really excited, but we know somebody else that's really excited about his side of the football. And we just talked about it, broke it down for you, but if you didn't get a chance to listen, we caught up with Coach Joe Craddock earlier in the week for media availability. We got the chief. We talking defense? You got to talk to the chief. Here's what he had to say in his feelings about his defense in 2019 and Saturday at 3 p.m.
Forward. It'd be good to see Saturday, how far we've moved. There's no question that the guys put in a lot of work, and I'm ready to see them play. With that, I'll start taking questions.
Raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. Great. Know this offensive side of the ball, but your thoughts on Ben Hicks being named starting quarterback?
Well, I didn't even know that, but I'm happy whoever starts, and that's good, and that's great, and look forward to seeing him play well.
Hey, Chief, you got several true freshmen under 2 deep. I know this was a pretty highly rated class anyway, but you're a veteran coach. What's it like having all those young guys on your depth chart? What kind of camp do you think they've had? And is this something you anticipated given your needs and those guys' credentials?
Yeah, and I like to describe it like this. I enjoy coaching a young football team because when they're young, sometimes they don't know that they don't know. And they're going to go work hard and play hard and do those kind of things. And I've been around, at other stops where, we were every bit as young as this team is. And, certainly, they grew into really good football teams. And, that's what we intend to do here, with some of these young guys. Some of them are very talented. Some of them will get an opportunity to play early, and we got to have them. Depth is a big issue when you start looking around the SEC. If you don't have depth, you may play good at times, but when you get in some of those games where you got to play 69 to 89 plays, I just pull those off the top of my head there. But when you got to play that many plays, then you got to have depth, and ideally, we'd like to keep our guys to around 50 plays.
Coach, you will be running, or you said you'd be running a lot of 4-3 in this game. What about Portland State and their personnel that they run that makes you guys think about?
Well, they play a lot of 12 personnel. They play 2 tight ends. The thing about it is you never know where they're going to be. They'll be in 2 tight ends and they'll be in empty. Won't be anybody in the backfield. So they mix it up and they give you a lot of formation and boundary. But they play some big personnel and run a little bit of option. It's got 2 quarterbacks that they played in almost every game, and it'll be interesting to see what their plan is. And certainly we got to there's some things that we're going to do because of who we are, and then we got to find out how they're going to try to attack us, and we may have to make adjustments as we go. But we will play some base personnel for sure.
John, where do you think you're improved?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just understanding our philosophy and what we do and how we do it. I think this is, and I know I'm not fooled by this. Our players understand what they're doing now, and they're playing fast. The same kids are playing faster than they did last year. And you can slow players down. You can try to do too much scheme-wise, and who knows? Maybe we did that at times last year. But our players are more comfortable with the scheme, and they can cut it loose and play. I think probably at linebacker we're probably improved as much of that position as in terms of depth. Getting that second guy and maybe even a third guy from time to time. We've probably improved as much there as we have any position.
How helpful has it been basically to have the same first team defense that you started preseason with that you're going into the game with?
Well, the best way to answer that is to say, some of the best teams that I've been around are the ones that started almost every single week the same level. And obviously we got it right when we started the season and we kept them healthy. And but those have been some of the better teams that I've been on.
Keith, I guess they're tied in at 89. Charlie, I'm not going to try to pronounce the last name, started with E, but I guess he's an NFL caliber type guy. It's big games and scores in last year. What's your take on him?
Well, he's a really good player, and he is. He has NFL talent. There's no doubt about that. And certainly that's nothing that we're not accustomed to. When you play against, the SEC teams, you play against, that kind of talent every week. Yeah, he's a really good player, and I think he'll end up having, a long career in the NFL.
Coach, 3 defensive ends are seniors. You guys said the first was start fall practice. They had to play well for you this year. Does it look like they're coming along like you thought they would?
Yeah, and Steve Caldwell's done a great job, with them, and it's. I think again, mentioned linebackers, in terms of what they had done in terms of improvement, but that front has gotten.
Welcome back. It's on here with Pat Cheek and Sports Talk. Yeah, you see, I got new headphones. I mean, we switching everything in this business. I mean, we switching everything. You go away, and we got it. See, I'm even going to turn them around and make them even better. But give a shout out to all our sponsors. As this would not be possible without you guys for showing us all the belief and us working out a great relationship and continued relationships in the future. But our sponsors want to give a shout out: Lindsay and Associates with office location in Fayetteville, and office location also too in Rogers. Locomotion. It's located just below Northwest Arkansas Mall. Corey Beck's Custom Painting. I'm telling you, residential, commercial. Corey Beck's Custom Painting. Make sure you reach out to Corey for all his great painting work. And lastly, the good sponsor. I'm telling you, KDK's Chicken, located at 989 South Razorback Road. And like they say, it's not your mama's. Best chicken in the South. I know it is for me. I mean, great food. Go down to see Kathy and Keith down at KDK's, and I'm pretty sure you're not only going to love the food, but the hospitality that they're definitely going to bring in. A lot of love when you go down there. But KDK's Chicken, I want to give a shout out. Talk to a little bit about Chief. You heard what John Chavis had to say about his defense, how excited he is. And also, too, I see that Terry Roy made a great point. Portland State, Demetrius, is a tricky football team. I mean, they're a very tricky football team. This is a team that they play 2 quarterbacks. Number 6, can't remember the young man's name. I don't have the roster in front of me, but I'm pretty sure we'll get that name here pretty soon. Is a guy that Arkansas is really going to have to, pay attention to. He's a guy that can, RPOs are really, really big with this young man. They're not a small offensive line for that matter. And I know you look at the roster for Arkansas. This is a matchup I think physical, size-wise, can be something that I think we can really focus in on how the roster is going to go and how that offensive line of Portland State and that defensive line battle of Arkansas, how that's going to go. It's going to be a line of scrimmage game. We all know that. It's always that way when you play college football. It's a line of scrimmage league. Who dominates wins, who doesn't. I like to say, Demetrius, the pitchers and the catchers. If you're going to catch all day and not pitch, you're pretty much going to lose in the game of football. It's not like baseball, pitching and catching. You have to be the pitcher most of the time on the grass when the lines are going sideways, I like to say. But I want to bring you in also too. Like I said, Terry did make a great point. He said, like I said, Portland State's a tricky team. What's your take on Portland State being the tricky team?
I think with a 2-10 season, every game is a tricky game because again, you don't have an identity. They don't know who they are yet. They're just going off of again talking season, and it's good. And that's why I say again, these guys are gonna have to come out playing the moment, and I mean the moment the ball is kicked off, because even though these guys are seniors and they've been to the top, it's been a while since they had that winning culture. And that was a lot of the times how Arkansas lost games is they didn't really know how to fight through adversity. They didn't know how to take a punch in the mouth. They may be up 20 points, but you know when the circumstances got a little rough, they didn't really know how to react. And again, I think that goes back to your point where you're saying these freshmen are going to come in the game really making a lot of these plays, and I do agree, but I still think with the freshmen that we really are raving about, that being Trey Knox and Traylon Burks, I'm expecting them to have 2 touchdowns apiece.
See, I think they're going to spread that ball around because I see 8 guys, 7 guys in that wide receiver core that could, take it to the house at any given moment. So I think you'll see 1 touchdown, possibly 2 from Traylon, because I think Traylon's going to be the guy, with Trey coming off being sick, and he's going to be a little weak. He'll make plays, but he won't be 100% Trey Knox, what he will be in Oxford next week and the week after. I think Mike Woods, the players that are going to make the play Saturday will be Mike Woods, Traylon Burks. I think they're going to I don't see Cheyenne playing a tremendous amount of snaps. I think Chase Harrell at the tight end spot will be the guy that we're talking about here on Tuesday. And then I just think Devois, I think Rakeem Boyd, I think that's going to be the big story. Offensive-wise, is how Arkansas will be able to control and be a more physical offensive line. Terry made another great point, and I'm telling you guys, D, Terry, our listener, is a very, very smart listener. The points that he makes are really, really good. I want to say, we really appreciate all the interactions.
I think we're gonna have to give Mr. Terry Roy a segment one day. He's just gonna have to.
We're gonna have to do that. We don't have a choice.
Hey, Mr. Roy, you need to call in, man.
He always showing.
You need to call in sometime.
He will. It's coming, and we love having Terry be like I said, a very, very long time. He ain't just came around.
Nah. He was watching the show when there was a T-shirt on the wall.
Yeah, he understands the way we came about the mud. But I really feel like if Arkansas's offensive line can hold water, can be more physical, and I think, in your opinion, how many eyes do you say? What's the over/under? 72,000 eyes are on that offensive line. The entire game will, and every single play will be judged by the physicality in which they play with. And I know it's got to do a lot with the previous 2 years, losing Sam Pittman and the offensive line being the biggest in the country and really physical, to basically falling off the face of the earth. So I think I understand, and I think fans really understand that there's going to be a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions about this football team. They're coming off 2-10. They are what their record said they were. Now, I think there's better senior leadership. I honestly believe that they're going to have a better season. I think they'll be able to fight through adversity more because the maturity level and the biggest thing that I can say about the senior group is they show that it means something to them. We heard Devois, we heard Sosa, we heard Scooter, and we asked them questions, and you could feel the importance of leaving the University of Arkansas as a senior group, going to a bowl game, and when you look back, you always go back to that 2019 class. If Arkansas gets to a bowl game and they start getting this thing rolling, that'll be the first year that they don't have a losing record. That'll be the last time we can remember bowl games. Hopefully, I truly believe under Chad Morris that this thing's going to get going in a really big way, and I think this is going to be the year. But it goes back to the senior class and the importance and urgency that they are displaying in that building, both on and off the field, in the meeting rooms. You can just feel it. We talked about that to me. As soon as we left Hoover, I looked at you and said, this is a different senior group.
And again, I have to go back and keep reiterating myself. That's why my expectation of these guys being a different feeling and having a different vibe and having a different expectation on Arkansas, I'm going to put it on these guys because these seniors they've seen the highest of the high with Arkansas and they've seen the lowest of the lows. Right. So to me, and these guys being key players and having the moment, like these guys, when you're looking at Sosa again, you're up for a preseason All-American. You got 3 guys on the defensive side that were up for SEC All-American, preseason All-American. There is no excuse. And again, a lot of this, I'm going to be looking at the coaches. I'm eager to see how the coach is going to call the game, what plays he's going to run, because that was a question mark for me for a while. No disrespect to Coach Craddock. I love Coach Craddock. I like what he's doing, but there was times in the season that I questioned, was he ready to really be an offensive coordinator in the SEC? Yeah. And this year, now that he's had a year under his belt and has had a relationship with these guys on offense, you know, I expect to see another level. And there was flashes where I seen some things that I liked, but then there was flashes where it was like, okay, these guys look like high school coaches. And again, my expectation level for these guys are high because I think they have a short rope. Their rope isn't as long as some of these other coaches in the past. Just with the way my society is, the generation that I live in today, we expect things right now. We're gonna give you 2 to 3 years, and if you don't get it done in 2 to 3 years, you're out the door.
You're right about that, and I feel like I said, we've had great, conversation today, and we'll continue this on. But I just feel like, as the future goes on, this senior class will be remembered as the class that got Arkansas back in the bowl, got Arkansas back into tasting winning football. And I think the classes behind them are talented enough that they're going to continue to get the tradition and the culture back up. And I think Arkansas will be one of the elite programs in the SEC. There's a reporter. I believe in the availability. I believe when Chad named the quarterback, the question was, can you win a national championship here at the University of Arkansas? And he said emphatically, yes, he believes that they can. I believe it. You can tell in the recruiting. I mean, the way that they're starting to recruit, you're starting to see guys that you see on the sidelines that play for LSU, that play for Florida, that play for Alabama. Traylon Burks is an Alabama type of wide receiver. Traylon Burks is a Clemson type of wide receiver. Trey Knox is a Clemson type of wide receiver. TQ Jackson is a Texas he's a Texas A&M. He's a Power 5 type of receiver. And these guys you'll see play. And I think you have to go back to maturation. I've always talked about that. This is going to be a team that's going to grow. They're going to have some ups. They're going to have some downs because they're starting so many people. 37 out of 44 in your 2 deep chart will be playing for the remainder of the next 2 to 3 years. 37 of your 44. But this is also, too, Demetrius and listeners, this is a team that don't understand. A bunch of young guys that don't understand that they're not supposed to be good. All they see is they came to Arkansas for a bunch of playing time and a chance to turn a program around. And they met up with a bunch of seniors that have the same vision and the same drive that they had. And they listen. The freshmen, they listen to the coaches, and they've elevated. And, Chad also made a statement back in the spring, I'll never forget. His job was to elevate each and every room, each and every year. And in the past couple of years, he's done that. He's gotten Devois, someone that he can get a breather with, Raheem, with Chase, and now Amante Spivey. He's went out and got bigger and more capable playmaking wide receivers. He's starting to get guys in that special team. Connor Limpert has grown immensely. I feel really, really confident from a media standpoint as to the kicking game, and we all know that that's been a problem here at the University of Arkansas over the years. I just see constant growth here with Chad Morris in year 2. I think you're going to see more of that growth. And if history stays true, the second year of every coach here at the University of Arkansas, that coach has gone bold. So you kind of want history to continue to stay true. I really think this senior group is going to be one of those groups that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Devois. We're going to talk about TJ. We're going to talk about my man, Jamario Bell. We're going to talk about Sosa. We're going to talk about Colton Jackson. We're going to talk about a lot of these seniors in moments this year during the season that are going to have key plays that prevail Arkansas through hard times. And I think that's what the senior class really wants to do, is be that group to get them through the hard times, because it ain't been good.
I think Mr. Roy just made another good point. He says this senior group really cares about the underclassmen, and you really saw that throughout the summers. You've seen Sosa get with Bubba. You've seen what's a senior receiver?
They don't have any.
I was just about to think that we don't have
beauty.
guys like Mike Woods.
Deion Stewart,
right.
Before Deion went out, he was really the vocal one in that room because he was that senior.
Right.
So,
but even guys like Mike Woods that they say took ownership of the wide receivers, he's taken, his wing and put over the younger guy. I mean, if you guys take a look, go back and check out some of our Media Day videos that we took at Media Day for Arkansas. And you just see, you do see a different type of brotherhood, brotherly love off the field. You see guys, just having fun. And I really want to see that translate over to the field, because I think in those times where Arkansas got punched in the mouth, guys got selfish, and that's what led to guys not really playing for each other, and guys thinking, okay, I'm trying to get to the NFL next year. I'm just going to go out here and make these plays or do what I can to look good on national television. And I think these guys have a team bonding, and again, that's why I'm really looking forward to seeing Coach Craddock, because again, going back to what I was saying earlier, they have a little bit more continuity. They understand each other.
They got a little more toys to play with, I think.
They do.
It's like being it's like being real healthy, in good health. You eat good. I mean, when you have a lot of food in the kitchen, and you can just go in there and pick what type of food you want to cook each and every night. I think Arkansas has that type of thing, and it's not food, but it's talent. I think if Joe and them want to be physical, they can be physical. If they want to be finesse, I think they can be finesse. If you get inside the 20, they have big enough receivers now that you can play a little jump ball down there inside the 20 with Trey and TQ and Traylon and Mike Woods, Cheyenne, Grayson. Those type of guys. I think so I think Arkansas's gotten a lot bigger. And really, when you look at this offensive line, Demetrius, these are some long cats. I mean, this offensive line is 6'4" to 6'9", with the right amount of weight. And I think they're starting to lengthen out like those offensive lines that we do see at Alabama and Georgia and LSU and Texas A&M. And I think they're becoming more versatile. I can't stress enough from the transformation. When you see number 78, Dalton Wagner, run on that field, fans, you are not going to recognize this young man. But it all started with the buy-in and him wanting to be a part of something, that for the last 2 years, he don't know what it's like to go bowling. Hadn't played very much. So Dalton doesn't understand. And so I think this team is going to play really what it boils down to. I think this team's going to play with a chip on its shoulder.
I'm telling you.
Just like the seniors.
I think it's key that these guys find a swagger quick. Like, quick.
I think they do have swagger. I really do. I mean, like I said, when you see it, for those that aren't privy like we are in the media, when you see the competition between those wide receivers and those D-backs, it's competition. It's finally you get to see iron sharpening iron, where a player is just as SEC ready as the next player, and they're going against each other. And these are guys that possibly may have a chance to play on Sundays. That's the type of player that I see coming in here under Chad Morris and that coaching staff. You talk about Ron Cooper. Ron Cooper was the architect of the best secondary in LSU, which started the DBU. Claiborne, Patrick Peterson, the Honey Badger.
That you right about that.
The list goes on, and then you talk about a coach like Caldwell, your boy, Trey Flowers, Darius Spotline, and talk about the kids that he's recruited and went on to play professionally. I think Leonard Little was a young man that played at Tennessee, had a great career with the St. Louis Rams. Unfortunately, had a unfortunate death, and I think went way too early. And talk about Chad, and we can see Trey Quinn is a coach step. So I think they feel good. 30% to 70%. They're not 100% offensively, but I think this 70%. Man, think about that, Deep. Think about that line, Demetrius. If you come out in a wide set with Mike Woods, Trey Knox, Traylon Burks, you split out Cheyenne O'Grady, and then you have either Raheem or Devwai out there. And the offensive line can hold water, because I think they're the most important. They're only going to go as far as that quarterback and that offensive line.
I agree. You just hit the nail on the head, because that's again why I say these guys have to come out and put a 40-piece. I'm saying that to the end of the show. These guys have to come out and put a 40-piece on Portland State. I think it's so crucial. It's a mentality.
I'm telling you, Mr. Roy is on fire today. Another great statement about offensive line and Lippert. They're going to be – the kicking game's going to be real big with this football team.
I agree. I think if they don't score the touchdown, they're still going to be in great field position to either put points on the board.
And we all know how Coach DePrado and that special teams group at Colorado's played over the last few years. Arkansas was very fortunate. I think Chad was very fortunate to get a guy of Coach DePrado's special teams experience. And I even see Barry Lundy. I was out there watching him yesterday. Barry had a lot of energy and excitement. It's like he's a newfound special teams coach, and I really see his excitement in the tight end. The tight end room because there's depth there. There's 3-4 guys, and that's what it's about, building depth and being able to sustain it.
But I wanted to go back to that comment about that lineup that you talked about, Cheyenne widening out, and that's why I keep going on. A lot of this pressure is going to be on Coach Craddock. It's going to be, it's going to be a lot of pressure on Coach Craddock.
I see something that I really feel good about too. I see Chad. Coach Morris has been really active in the offensive game plan and play calling in this fall camp. I think he's going to be more hands-on. I think you'll see more of his opinions coming out because Chad Morris, we all know, we saw what he did at Clemson. We saw what he could have done.
That's why I say air quotes guru. Air quotes. He's an offensive air quote guru.
Yes, I think he's not going to be calling the plays per se, but I think he'll have a lot of, as he say, he'll have the last vote and the veto power. But I do think you're going to see more of his opinions. I think Joe Craddock will be the offense coordinator and essentially at the end of the day call the final play. But I think you'll see more of Coach Noah having his hand in his ideas with that offense, which I think is going to be very beneficial for this football team. And if this offense can really, really stand up, you're only going to fuel, because I see a bunch of guys on defense, and defense is about emotion. That's what I think. And I think a lot of these guys are going to play on emotion as they do it in fall camp. When they make a play, you see the whole defense run over it and really be all into it. They're all in with one another. And the brotherhood, as you say, is stronger than I've seen in this program in quite some time, where every single player is of one accord and they're trying to do something, which is stop a very, very tumultuous football program here at the University of Arkansas. But you have to own it before you can change it. And each and every coach and player, and particularly, I got to continue to say it, senior group, senior class, they've owned what's been going on in there. I really see. I think it's going to be a very, very, very spirited game on Saturday. No doubt. But I think that's going to close it up today. We've had a great time, Demetrius and I, sharing our views. Tomorrow we'll bring on the A. We'll have KNWA's Alyssa Orange. We'll also have Arkansas Democrat Gazette Scotty Borderland, and also too Hallville.net. You know who he is, Otis Kirk. We'll get all the takes of what they think is going to take place, because we're roughly just slightly, I believe, slightly under 48 hours, over 48 hours before this thing takes off. But we're going to take off. We hope you'll come back.
No, you got to mention the Bulldog broadcast tomorrow, man.
Yes. I would be remiss to say, for those we have just, we'll be doing our debut of broadcasting Fayetteville High School football on 106 FM.1 KRRD. Be sure and check us out. Airtime. We come on with the pregame show at 6:30 p.m. Tomorrow night. Fayetteville will be taking on the Vianney High School out of Missouri. I think it's going to be a great, great game. A lot of excitement for a new head football coach. Casey did come out and support the Bulldogs, but I want to make a note. We will be doing, you'll hear me, Pat Jenkins, doing the broadcast. I will be the voice of the Fayetteville Bulldogs football season this year, and you can catch all our broadcasts. Also, too, my color analyst will be Anthony Hicks, former Arkansas Razorback, former Green Bay Packer. He'll be joining us for all analyzation of each and every high school football game that the Bulldogs will be a part of, and want everybody to check us out. It will be brought to you also by Lindsay and Associates. The broadcast will be brought to you all, but really looking forward to. You go ahead and say what you got to say. Oh, and if you're interested in sponsoring the Fayetteville High football broadcast, you can do so. Just reach out to our cell contacts, 601-7400, area code 479, or you can reach us here at on the hill Pat J at gmail.com if you're very interested and want to be a part of it. We've got a lot of different packages that you can be a part of. We'd love to have you be a part of the PDP broadcast. But like I said, you can catch us and you can catch it tomorrow at 106.1 FM KRRD. And lastly, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Lindsay and Associates, with an office location in Rogers, an office location also too here in Fayetteville. Locomotion, located just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall. Corey Beck's Custom Painting. And lastly, our new, and the one I'm really excited about because there's some chicken involved, KDK's Chicken at 989 South Razorback Road. And like they say, it's not your mama's. Best chicken in the South, or at least I think so. Go down and see Keith, go down and see Kathy, and enjoy it. Like I said, you're going to get more than just food. You'll get great fellowship. There'll be a lot of love at that establishment when you go there. And you'll definitely, really, really, really like the food. But that's going to wrap it up from myself and from my producer, Demetrius Johnson, to you all. Be sure to be here tomorrow, the 8th. It's the one you don't want to miss. And then, like I said, once again, tomorrow night, 6:30, tune in, 106.1 FM if you want to hear Purple Dog football, as we're going to bring it to you the best way we know how. But that's going to do it for us. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. You know what I say. Let's get it.